Hey everybody, my name is Zach and I'm here to present you a dangerous foe for your mid-level player characters. The video will consist of two halves. The first will be about the adversary himself, his kit, his stat block and some explanation about him. The second half will be about the arena and we will make the battle map itself in Incarnate. The stat block and the battle map are both in a Google Drive folder you can find in the description below. All the way through, you have to remember, we are translating the kit and the style, not the lore itself. I will present you a new lore you can use in your campaign, but be advised, I've tested the stat block in 2 fights against 4 level 6 characters, and it was working, but it's not the same as against real players. Yes, I was playing with myself, I was controlling the characters and the adversary as well. But you know, that happens when you are alone. But whatever. So if you have any insights, thoughts, leave it in the comments. Let's get down to business.
In search of the Elden Ring. Emboldened by the flame of ambition.
Margit is easily 10 feet tall, holding a walking cane or staff made out of what looks like to be gnarled and knobby branch or maybe a whole small tree. He uses this walking staff as a main melee weapon. His ranged attack in the beginning is a dagger made out of light. When his HP goes down enough, he starts using an epic looking warhammer made out of light. Sometimes just sweeping around, sometimes with a big leap closing some distance and wreaking havoc on the battlefield. Also, we should note this, looking at this face only a mother could truly love, with branches or horns and antlers coming out of it, the size, the legs and the general posture, it is clear he is not human. So, I'm not sure what he is supposed to be in the game. Probably some dragon-related insanity, but we are here to convert the kit, not the lore, and make it interesting and creative. For this, our Margit will be something else. So, let's see that stat block. We have Margit the Fell Omen, who will be a large giant, a troll, a chaotic evil one. His armor class will be 15, just as the original troll, with natural armor. His hit points will be 157, but if you want to roll it out in a formula, I would advise using 15d10 plus 75. And his base movement speed on land is 30 feet. He has a strength score of 18, a dex score of 13, a constitution score of 20, an int score of 8 and a wisdom score of 12, which is roughly the same with the original troll that can be found in, I think, the player's handbook, but the charisma score is 18. Yep, and that's because I imagined him to be some kind of an ex-paladin or anti-paladin. We will go into this later. I will give you a non-setting specific lore about what I thought could be a fun little story around this NPC if you use him in your campaign. Saving throws are Wisdom +4 and Charisma +7. He's proficient in Athletics, Intimidation, Medicine, Perception and Religion. He has 60 feet of dark vision and a passive perception of 14. He speaks Common and Giant, and he's a CR6, so challenge rating 6 enemy, which means for 6th level character could take on him. Just as in his role, he has a keen smell, which means he has advantage on wisdom perception checks that rely on smell, and he has regeneration. This means that every turn, every round where he starts without taking acid or fire damage since his last turn, he will regenerate 10 hit points. He dies only if he starts his turns with 0 hit points and doesn't regenerate. So if he goes to 0 hit points, but he didn't take any fire or acid damage last round, he will get up. This could be a solution if you want to keep him for longer in game. If the characters take him down, he could stay on the ground and they could walk away, and he could get up, and this would be a perfect explanation for why. Or if you feel like that, he can get up when they take him down, and he could chug a healing potion or something, and he could get back in the fight that way. He has a leap. That's an ability. As a bonus action, Margit the Fell Omen leaps into the air and jumps 20 feet. If he uses this ability, he can't reuse it again until the end of his next turn, so he can use it every other turn. With this, he triggers attack of opportunity reactions only at the starting point of the movement, which means he's going up in the air, and others can reach him, so only when where he jumps from, he triggers attacks of opportunity, but not on the way to the end position 20 feet away. And then here we go with the actions. Margit the Fell Omen has a multi-attack. He makes 2 attacks, either 2 with his walking staff or 2 with the dagger of unholy light. The walking staff that we mentioned earlier is his base melee attack. He has a +7 to hit with 5 foot reach, and he can target 1 enemy. It has damage of 2d10 plus 4 bludgeoning, which averages to 15. The second attack is the Dagger of Unholy Light, which can be used in ranged or which can be used as a ranged or a melee spell attack. So if you are going against somebody who's in close quarters, maybe Margit would turn to this attack in melee against a barbarian who would take less damage from the walking staff, because the Dagger of Unholy Light causes radiant damage, 2d8 plus 4 to be exact, with +7 to hit, range of 30 feet to 60 feet, and he can target 1 enemy with this. And then we have the big attack, the Warhammer of the Tainted Soul. That's the epic looking, radiant looking, holy looking Warhammer that Margit uses in the game. So it looks like he's summoning a Radiant Warhammer, making a sweeping attack around himself. Each creature not further away than 5 feet has to make a DC 15 Dexterity saving throw, taking 17 or 4d6 plus 4 radiant damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one. Warhammer of the Tainted Soul has a recharge of 5 or 6, so that means when you used up the Warhammer of the Tainted Soul. Then next turn, when you start Margit's turn, roll d6, and if you get a 5 or a 6, then he will be able to use the Warhammer of the Tainted Soul again. In game, there's a Holy Sword attack also, which looks really awesome, but it would be redundant to use it next to the Dagger of Unholy Light. So to be honest, I thought that into this stat block I won't put it in, because 2 melee radiant damage spell attacks could be a bit too much. It's a CR6 enemy. It still has a lot to think about. You can surprise your players with a couple of stuff, but try not to overdo it. It's not a concrete takeaway from the game. I mean, you don't have to kill them 15 times, so the 16th times they could win. It would be easier if you just used Warhammer of the Tainted Soul after he got down to around 75-80 HP. Let's jump into the battle map creation. So after I finished Margit after 16 or 17 tries, I was able to look around the bridge, and I figured out that I made a couple of pictures, and this came up. So if we look at it, it looks like let's take the character's length of his feet as 1 feet, which isn't completely precise, because usually knight boots are a bit longer, they are pointy, whatever. So let's take that the boot for a knight is 1 feet, so 1 tile is approximately 3.5 feet wide. I mean, one side is 3.5 feet, and one back jump takes 2 tiles. So the 1 back jump means it's 7 feet. Across the bridge, it's 11 back jumps or dodges, which means it's 77 feet. In D&D terms, it's around 12 squares. In length, it's about 21 back jumps or back steps or whatever, which means it's 147 feet in length approximately, which translates into 22 squares, which is funny because so the bridge itself isn't completely straight. It's a bit curved, but to be honest, I was looking at it and I was like, we can make this as straight, because that's just yeah, it's easier that way. And to be honest, that little curve didn't give as much. It was so much more important to give the aesthetic that somebody was trying to defend the bridge with all their might. There were weapons scattered around and palisades, and it looked like a genuine place of battle. So I tried to recreate that, which is more or less accomplished in the final product. But yeah, looks good, it feels good. It's not that gritty or dark as the original, but it can work. And the fact that Margit starts its fight by closing the gate towards the other side, and you are completely shot in with him on this narrow bridge. Narrow is subjective, but whatever. It feels like a genuine arena, and you can play it off like Margit is jumping down from the wall at the end, and he closes the gates to the back, to the front and the back, so there's no way out, and the player characters can only go through if they get the medallion from the neck of Margit or something like that. And they can use the palisades to get into cover from the radiant daggers, and Margit could chase them around, sometimes jumping from character to character. Move Margit, that's really important. He's able to regenerate. He has 15 AC against level 6 characters. Make them move. It's really important to not just stay in one place, because he isn't designed to be used with added monsters. So he's large, and the casters and ranged characters should feel in danger, but not as much danger. That's why you can only use the leap every second turn. That's why you have a recharge on the hammer. So the first, mainly you would focus on the melee characters, but harass the ranged ones, so they don't feel safe. They don't get bored just shooting and shooting. Cause terror by jumping next to the caster and say, "Here's Johnny" or something. I don't know. just do something and kill them. I mean, don't kill them. They worked a lot on their characters, and you should always respect the amount of work a player puts into his character. If you don't do that, then you are not telling your story to. If you don't do that, you are not telling a story for them. You are telling a story for yourself, and that's not that interesting, because the players are interested in the stories of the characters. So yeah. Well, have a nice day. I hope you can use what I created here, and if you have any insights or ideas or any pointers what to do next, just write it in the comments. Also, if you want to get notifications about the next upload, then feel free to click on the little bell and subscribe to the channel. Have a nice day, and I hope I will see you next time. Goodbye.